Okay, you guys, welcome to the Ranting Shop with me, Melissa, and I'm finally going to be doing the review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, the new season 4, episode 1. And there's a lot to unpack in this particular episode, but some of the takeaways from watching it was basically that the Scott brothers are liars. Okay, Marcel is a liar. Maurice is a liar, and it's nothing that we didn't already know, but we've gotten more proof to somewhat solidify our thoughts and feelings. What Marceau did by posting that picture on Facebook was to deflect heat off of himself, right? And so he decided, okay, let me do this by throwing my brother under the bus, because Maurice has been deflecting, he has been lying, he has been, telling half-truths or trying to divert from telling the truth countless times in countless seasons, and you never felt the need to call him out. All of a sudden, it's like the right place and the right time to do so. So I just think it was because a lot of things were coming out about Marceau, and he used that as a deflection point. But what it really did was drew more attention to Marceau in regards to the cheating allegations that have been going on from the time the show even commenced till now, and let's just get into what exactly happened. So first we have Tisha and Marceau, they speak. We learn that Marceau went on an African trip by himself. And despite what he says, it seems like he simply wanted to be away from Tisha. Tisha annoys the hell out of that man, and anything he could do to get away from her, he will. So he decided to go to Africa to take a break from his family and to take a break from his wife. That's what I think he did. It would defeat the purpose if she also was able to go along with him, because it's like, I'm bringing my problems with me on vacation. So that's how I think he saw it. So it's like, let me leave these people there in Huntsville and let me go to Africa. And Tisha saw it as a red flag because people telling her man cheating left and right. It's a matter of time before she starts believing it, So that's why I suppose she was feeling like, okay, why you need to go all the way to Africa by yourself, and I'm going through problems too. I have my stress too. Why couldn't we do that together as a family? I've never been to Africa. And anybody watching this would look at this with a side eye, because why not include your wife? But as I just mentioned, he purposely did not want her to be there because she's part of his stress. She's part of his depression. And he doesn't want to be reminded of it, or did he want to see or hear it? So that is what it was. Maybe he took another woman with him, who knows? But Tisha is definitely part of his problem, and he let her know that as well on the Vegas trip that they went to. He let her know, you're a part of my stress. You're what's causing me to feel like you're adding to what's causing me to feel how I'm feeling. So then he mentioned when he was in Africa, he noticed that people call it a third world country, but he saw the beauty of them not prioritizing money all the time, and he saw people seeking happiness instead. And so he brought it back to him and to America. He came to America, came back with the mindset of, instead of always chasing money, why don't we take some time to prioritize our own happiness? Because he realized that he's sacrificing money for happiness. When you overwork yourself, nothing good comes from that. Yes, you might get monetary gain, but even that is not going to seem like a benefit. Even that is not going to seem like a win. It's gonna seem like, okay, I have it, but it becomes so much less than the happiness. It's like I have the money, but my happiness is more than that money, So hopefully it creates some type of change in him to prioritize his family as opposed to work and so on. And so that is why he brought the idea of having a chief of staff. And Tisha is like, what's the sex gonna be? Is it gonna be a woman? Is it gonna be a man? And Marcel acts like he doesn't know why Tisha is asking him this. It's because you've given this woman plenty of reason to suspect that you cheated on her, and that is why. And then add on top of that the public pressure and scrutiny. She, of course, is feeling a certain type of way. Like, is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it an attractive woman? Like, you heard her saying she wants an older woman with experience. And I feel like she's not only saying that because it seems logical, but she's saying that in order to secure her marriage and to somehow keep her husband with her, and it seemed very pathetic, her doing that, because it's like, if you have to do all of that, it means you don't trust him. And as much as she tries to say she trusts him, she doesn't trust her husband. If you trusted him, you wouldn't care who he hired, because you trust that he would not do anything that would hurt your relationship. But because you don't trust him, you want to control who is gonna be around him, even if it's in a professional setting, because you low-key know your husband, So she said she needs approval first, and she's not asking him, she's demanding, that she gets approval before he hires whoever he wants to hire as a chief of staff. And then he's talking about, you must be reading the comments because, you are demanding stuff, you're not asking for approval. And that's probably what it is. She's realizing that she's been a doormat for a lot of her marriage, and she's looking pathetic to people. And I think somebody hit the nail on the head, and they said it's not necessarily that she doesn't want to be submissive to him, because she's been that way throughout her marriage. That is probably why Marcel married her. It's because she looks stupid to people viewing her on the show, and so she's self-conscious of how she's being viewed, and so that is making her want to all of a sudden be this woman with a backbone, or this woman that demands things, or this woman that is so assertive, when she wasn't like that before. And a lot of the reason why Marcel responds to her being that way in the way he does is because you were not like this when I married you. Like, who's this person all of a sudden? What are you trying to do right now? What are you trying to become? And of course it has a lot to do with public influence. Okay, so they talk about Marcel outing his brother. And he felt like, okay, it's time for Maurice to stop lying. He was there, but he keeps saying he wasn't. You're a lawyer, but essentially you're not honest, because you like to go around things and everything is technical and everything is, okay, you said I was there chatting with woman. I was there, but I wasn't there chatting with the woman. And instead of just simply saying you were there, it has to be a technical answer, like, I was there, but you mentioned me chatting with the woman. I wasn't there chatting with the woman. So since I wasn't there chatting with the woman, I wasn't there. But you were there. And I feel like people that like to find loopholes to lie or to seem like they're telling the truth are people that are lying. Because if you were honest, you wouldn't need to do all these Jimmy flicks things and these acrobatic you wouldn't have to use these words and ways to twist and turn things, and that's what he does. And it was very annoying to see Maurice do that and continue to do that. Like, we're not dumb. We're on to you. Your wife is on to you. Your husband, your brother has been on to you. Everybody's on to you. So stop this nonsense. So tells Tisha to be quiet and stop making coleslaw relevant. And people, including me, hate the way that he shuts her down, almost like a little girl. Someone said it in a comment section. She may like to be submissive, as I said before, but she just doesn't like how it looks on TV to other people. But anyway, let's move on. Marcel and Louis talk. Marcel says that Mel doesn't want him to see his kids and claims that Mel cheated on him the same time he was cheating on her. Now, I think a lot of people give Mel a pass because we feel as if Mel cheated only after Marcel cheated. So she did it kind of to get him back. And since he broke the marriage vows first, it's all fair game for her to break it second. You know, because you already broke it and she's just following your lead. So since you set that precedent, she's following in that lead. You know, and so in that regard, we feel like whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Like, he tries to make it seem like him and her were cheating at the same time when really and truly he cheated first and she did it back. And it is what it is. The husband is supposed to be the lead. You set the precedent and she followed it. I don't see any issue with that. So he's saying that everybody cheats, everybody lying, and he's the one that's being portrayed as this bad guy, and he doesn't want to be this bad guy anymore. Lou thanks Marcel for sticking up for him when everybody was coming at him. The Scott brothers were hitting him left and right, especially Marcel, and Marcel was the only person that came up and defended Louis. He was like, y'all act like Louis is the only one not being transparent. Nobody on this panel is being transparent, and I agree. I think not one of them is being fully transparent. Absolutely not, you know. So they have no room to really talk in the grand scheme of things. Now, they spoke about breaking man code. And remember in the Vegas trip, Louis and his wife would have pillow talk about what the guys spoke about. And there was this issue of man code and breaking man code and stuff like that. But you, Marcel, is outing your brother instead of having his back. So which one is worse? You know, a stranger having pillow talk with his wife, or you outing your own brother, you know? So I said the irony of who and who can't break man code. You know, that picture said all that it needed to say. Marcel thinks if his business was kept off the internet, it wouldn't have been as devastating. I disagree. I feel like either way it would have hurt. Either way it would have amounted in a divorce, whether it be sooner or later it would happen, and so that would be what it was. So for him to think that it was solely the media that kind of created the whole issue, no, it was your actions, you know what I mean? So Kimmy gets herself an emotional support dog named Zeus, and when I was watching this episode, I was like, every time somebody has this breed of dog, they call this breed of dog Zeus. Like, Zeus to me is the most common name for a dog I've ever seen in my life. And I forgot the name of that breed of dog, but that breed of dog is always called Zeus. Like, I'm kind of sick of that name, to be honest. Now, I said that she got an emotional support dog to deal with the possibility of Maurice cheating. I think she doesn't want to face that. I believe she doesn't want to believe that her marriage is a lie. I believe she doesn't want to believe that her husband is not who she thinks he is. So to cope with that, she got her a dog. Marcel was being funny is what Maurice said. And like Kimmy said, where was the joke? Like, nothing about that post was funny. You know what I mean? And then Maurice comes in with the lies. Oh, I didn't say I wasn't there. That's a lie. You said you were not there. You said you were not there. Maurice is such a liar. He definitely slept with the linebacker. That's my thinking. He definitely did it. You know, it was too hard for him to give a simple yes or no answer. That should tell Kimmy all what she needed to know. Now, he took so long to answer a simple yes or no question. Then, all of a sudden, it becomes about, oh, how is Tisha feeling? How is Tisha taking this? This is not about Tisha. And I'm so happy that Kimmy peeped that and she turned it back on him. It's not about Tisha. It's about you. Did you sleep with this person? And then his reaction is, oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't sleep with a linebacker. A lot of men say they wouldn't sleep with a particular kind of woman. It's all lies. Because at the end of the day, they may try to create a particular image about themselves, right? And people will believe that they're this one way. Whole time behind closed doors, they're a completely different person and they like a completely different type of woman. So no, that's not an excuse of, oh, I wouldn't sleep with a linebacker. I don't know that. So I'm happy that Kimmy kept keeping his feet to the fire, burn his toes, because he tried to squiggle and wiggle and jiggle his way out of things, and Kimmy kept with it. You know, too many times these men feel like, or these manipulative people feel like they can slip through cracks. No, we're not allowing you to slip through any crack. You know, and then he talks about, oh, he doesn't care about it. But the thing about it is it affects your wife, so you should care. She cares, so you should care. Are you stupid? Anyways, let's talk about Destiny and Tisha. Putting her pain into music, Destiny singing a song following Melody's lead. She spoke about she going from a lucrative career to having to go on public assistance when her divorce happened and everything went to dirt. We learned that Mel and Destiny has not been close. She doesn't talk to her about... She eavesdropped during they were in LA. She eavesdropped and heard her name being called and said Tisha is her enemy, and she did not like that Destiny spoke about her with her enemy. Okay, I didn't know when or how Tisha went back to being an enemy, but she did go back to being an enemy. And I mentioned Mel is a bad friend, and I do believe she is a bad friend because I don't know, there's something about her that's very self-centered and a little bit narcissistic, and it's like, I don't know, she's just unable to keep friends because she's unable to be a equal give and taker, so to speak. You know, Mel and Kimmy talk over a charcuterie board. She felt the need to reach out to Kimmy, especially when the picture broke out on social media and all the backlash came. She wanted to give or to offer Kimmy the same grace that Kimmy offered her, the same helping hand, the same compassion. So they were making charcuterie boards. Kimmy mentions getting a dog, and Melody with this fake response, oh my gosh, good for you. Oh my god, like that's a thing Melody does that's just so fake. But anyway, Mel and Tisha are... Now, before I talk about Mel and Tisha, I don't believe, because Kimmy says, oh, she believes Maurice, and she makes it seem to Melody as if he outright said, no, I didn't do it, when in reality, he went all around the bend. He made several circles around the point before he said no, he didn't do it. So I don't believe that Kimmy believes Maurice. She doesn't. She just doesn't want to let Melody know that she doesn't believe her husband. You know, because Melody is kind of like a picture of what could be for Kimmy, and she perhaps doesn't want to come to terms with the possibility of that happening. Okay, so Mel and Tisha are back at square one because she mentioned Mel trying to ruin her marriage on the reunion, and it did very much seem like when Melody found out her husband was really cheating and she was going through the divorce and everything, Mel was very mean. She came across extremely mean, and it did seem like she was trying to plant seeds of doubt in Tisha's brain. Even if it was for Tisha to see the light, it was something that Tisha did not want to see. And so from Tisha's perspective, it seems like Melody was trying to sabotage her marriage. But I think what it really was Melody trying to get Tisha to see that if my husband and your husband hang out and are so-called friends, my husband cheated. Don't you think that your husband cheated too? Almost like, think about it, inquire about it. Don't be dumb. Don't be naive. But because Tisha didn't want to receive that information, she saw it as Melody wanting to break up their marriage. But anyways, it brought them back to square one, where they're actually not even on speaking terms and they don't like each other. So Destiny, she mentioned hearing Destiny and Tisha talk about her. They had breakfast, and then Destiny said, yes, I did speak about you. Yes, we did say these things. According to Destiny did not admit to talking shit about Mel, but Mel told Kimmy that Destiny admitted to talking shit about her. So it's either Mel interpreted whatever Destiny said as talking shit, or Destiny did not interpret what she said as talking shit, but it could just be their interpretations of what was said. One person may think that wasn't talking shit about you, versus another person that thinks, okay, yes, that was talking shit about me. So it's about perspective. Anyways, Melody's having a sleepover party, a pajama party. She's not inviting Destiny or Tisha, but she is inviting Kimmy. Kimmy trying to figure out what other friends does Melody have. That was subtle shade, I have to say. That was subtle shade. But yeah, she's bringing out other friends. She's bringing what's that lady name? Tiffany. And Kimmy's like, I don't F with Tiffany, but okay, I guess, you know. Now she said, yes, I'll come. I told you I'd come. So the Scott family come together. This is the last scene, and they talk about the post. Kimmy did not want to waste any time. She's like, now we're here together. Please explain to me why you felt the need to post that picture. Okay? You basically proved that the lady husband lied and didn't think that she would be affected by it. You know what I mean? Perhaps, you know, you guys, I think that Kimmy and Letitia are the same when it comes to their marriage. They're very different, but they're also very similar, because they both don't want to come to terms with the fact that their husbands could have potentially cheated on them. Now, yes, Kimmy seems more straightforward, more level-headed, more assertive, all these things. But in the back of her head, she doesn't want to believe. She knows that there is a strong possibility that her husband cheated, but she doesn't want to come to terms with that. So in that regard, she and Tisha are the very same. The very same. You know? Tisha claimed she wasn't affected by the post. She was only affected by people's reaction to it. Lies. Tisha's husband keeps manipulating her and putting her back in her box. He posted the picture to put the fire elsewhere. Maurice spoke about the 2 outside babies and as an example of something he wouldn't go and post. And that was taking it too far according to Maurice. But Maurice has no problem with tossing other people under the bus. So when it came to those 2 outside babies, that bothered him that Maurice brought it up. But Maurice brought it up to put out this point that I know so much stuff that happened on that trip. And I haven't said anything because I know it's gonna affect you and your marriage. But you had no problem throwing me under the bus. Why? What was the reason? What was the reason? And then his explanation is, oh, I thought it was just something that would show that Maurice was there, because he said he wasn't there, and I just wanted to prove that yes, he was there, and that's all I wanted to do. But around that whole thing is the question of cheating, because you have to understand that Ariane came out and she was very much telling people that she was there too, and she saw Maurice with a linebacker and she saw Marcel with another woman, and it would be crazy to not think that they all had sex in that trip. That would be, to me, for somebody to not think that they had sex with any of these women is for you to be naive. It's for you to continue to be naive. It's for you to live in a dream world. These men slept, they cheated. Marcel cheated on his wife, and Maurice cheated on his girlfriend at the time, who was Kimmy. You know, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, subscribe if you like what I had to say, and let me know what you think about the first episode of season 4. It looks like it's gonna be juicy, you guys. It seems like it's gonna cause some contention within the relationship of the Scott brothers. We're gonna see how that goes. Oh my gosh, you guys, do you see that at some point the women are gonna be throwing hands? Like, have we become love and hip-hop? Like, let me know in the comment section if you're liking the way this season is going, and see you guys next time for another review. Bye.